I now call this meeting of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association Student Senate to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to begin our Senate meeting taking place on Thursday, September 16th, 2021 with a land acknowledgement. We recognize that Kansas State University, as the first land-grant institution, stands on the ancestral lands of the Kaw people. Our state of Kansas is the home of 4 federally recognized Native nations, the Iowa, Kickapoo, Prairie Band, Potawatomi, and Sac and Fox. We must remember that the land serving as the foundation for this institution was, and still is, stolen land acquired by white settlers. We pledge our commitment to creating decolonized spaces at the university while advocating for the support and future success of Indigenous faculty, staff, and students at K-State. And with that, we will now move on to our first roll call with Interim Secretary Richenberg.
Okay, please bear with me. I've been trying to play with this Excel sheet all day, but I'm not sure how this is gonna go. Okay, Bain. Here. Bannister.
Here.
Barron.
Here.
Bellamy.
Here.
Blood.
Here.
Booz.
Here.
Callow. Carr. Compton.
Here.
Croslow.
Here.
Cunningham.
Here.
DeMott. Doc.
Here.
Dunlap.
Here.
Elliott.
Here.
Insero.
Here.
Esslinger.
Here.
Frederick. Fuss.
Here.
Gain.
Here.
Glasscock.
Here.
Hotzel. Jambunathan.
Here.
Kidd.
Here.
Cook. Or Coke.
Here.
Kramer. Lane. Lister.
Here.
Long.
Here.
Lynn.
Here.
May. Meyer. McPhee.
Here.
Monteith. Nelson.
Here.
Pineda Gomez. Porter.
Here.
Prester. Riffle.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Rook. Salmon.
Here.
Scharnhorst.
Here.
Shear. Splekel.
Here.
Stout.
Here.
Thomas. Wallace. Warren.
Here.
Willis Jackson.
Here.
Willis Reese. Okay. Let me check how many people there are. Okay. So in total, we have 37 senators present.
Awesome, thank you so much. Now we will be moving on to our first open period of the night. Are there any speakers for first open period? Seeing none, we will now move on to approval of the minutes. Blake distributed the minutes last Tuesday along with the agenda. Are there any questions or corrections for the minutes? Seeing none, I'm now seeking a motion to approve the minutes. Caucus Leader Lynn,
I move to approve the minutes from last week.
Second.
second. It has been moved and seconded. And yeah, sorry. Now we will move on to our announcements for the week. So first, if you haven't had the chance yet to get your COVID-19 vaccination, there are many resources to do so. Please refer to the link that was sent out with the agenda. Student organizations can earn up to $500 for their organization for participating in the Kansas Beats the Virus campaign. If you'd like to learn more about how to participate in the campaign, an information session will be held on Monday, September 20th at 5:30 p.m. in the Kansas State Student Union, Bluemont Room. A Zoom link is available if you can't attend in person. Please email Kelly if you'd like the link. Next, students interested in what happens with the student organization policy are encouraged to participate in the listening circles that are happening next week. These sessions will be held in person but are also accessible via Zoom. Share your thoughts and concerns about the current policy and share ideas on what a new policy could look like. These sessions will be held Tuesday, September 21st from 4 to 5 p.m. in the Student Union Room 227, Wednesday, September 22nd from 6 to 7 p.m. in the Union Cottonwood Room, and Thursday, September 23rd, 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. in the Student Union Room 227. At-large committee applications are due tonight at 11:59 p.m. If you are interested in serving on any of the committees university-wide, please apply tonight by 11:59. The link can be found on the agenda. And SGA members are welcome to sign up to be a SGA mentor for one of our SGA interns. Please consider applying to help welcome our interns into SGA. If you would like to apply, please make sure you have the opportunity to meet with your mentee at least twice a month. Please reach out to intern coordinators Grillis or Arnold if you have any questions. Applications are due Sunday, September 26th. Some fun events are coming up. This Sunday, September 19th, SGA will not be playing the collegiate in kickball. They actually backed out, so instead we will still be holding kickball. That's going to be between SGA members. I know, sad. And on Thursday, October 7th, SGA will be hosting Pizza and Parla before Student Senate, and more details are to come on this soon. SGA short order forms are due tomorrow, Friday, September 16th. If you have any questions, please come see me after Senate or shoot me an email. And, oh gosh.
I didn't know that works. I did not know that works.
I left the list of proxies in the office, which is my bad. So yeah. Michael? I left the list of proxies in the office.
Yeah.
Thank you. It should be posted on Blake's desk. Thank you. And if you are going to be absent from a student senate meeting, please fill out the link. And even if you aren't sure your absence will be excused, please still fill it out. If you will be physically absent from student senate but would like to attend via Zoom, please fill out the student senate Zoom request form, and Speaker Phillips will review requests based on the student senate attendance policy. Want to give props to someone in Student Senate? Fill out the Senate shout-out form, and Intern Secretary Marta Richenberg will read them at the end of our meeting. Fill out your shout-outs using the link provided on the agenda. And the SGA members of the week are Speaker Pro Tempore Nick Saya and Sexual Assault and Prevention Director Sarah Haggard. Nick and Sarah put in countless hours of work into Resolution 14 and have worked really hard to gather feedback and information to ensure the best possible outcome. Thank you both so much for your hard work. And for the quote of the week, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. And with that, we will move on to committee reports for the night. Are there any committee chairs who'd like to make a report? Interim Secretary Richenberg?
Okay, I think it's on. Yes, okay. So just an update on what GR is doing right now. So we are kind of planning by next week to have kind of what we want to put on a flyer that we're going to pass around in the Manhattan area. So if anybody's wanting to do that project, we don't really have a date of when we're going to do that, but it'll probably just be like an afternoon on the weekend that we just kind of go house to house and kind of place them like under doormats and stuff like that. Nothing that's going to be like face to face with anybody, so you don't have to worry about getting in an argument. It's really just going to be really simple. So if you want to be a part of that, please let us know. And then we also made kind of the executive decision that we're going to hold off on voter registration. We're going to let Wildcat Votes deal with that while we focus on vaccinations. But we're still going to push to get people to vote for this election. So you'll expect to hear stuff about that starting like beginning of October. But yeah, and I believe Wildcat Votes has talked about coming to our meeting. So if you want to hear from them, feel free to come over to GR. That's 5:30 on Mondays. But yeah, that's all I have. I stand for questions.
Thank you, Interim Secretary Richenberg. Are there any other committee chairs who would like to give a report? Seeing none, we'll now move into directors' reports. Are there any directors' reports for the night? Okay. Yeah. Comms Director Grols. So sorry, apologies.
Okay, cool. Hey everyone. For those of you who I have not met before, my name is Rachel Gromas. I'm the communications director for this term. So I just wanted to hop up here, update you all, and share some thoughts with you. So first, if you are not already following SGA on Instagram or Twitter, we also have a Facebook, but I'm probably going to delete that. So our Instagram is SGA K-State, and our Twitter is just a bit different. Flip it around, K-State SGA. So if you're not already following that, please give us a follow so we can share our content so that it can reach and benefit the student body. And so also, we're going to have headshots soon. I'll give you all more updates when that date is finalized. But that's something to be excited for since it will benefit all of you. So finally, I have something to share. I just wanted to remind everyone of SGA's mission. I think it's like a really good idea just to keep it in mind moving forward throughout the semester. It's something that, you know, as communications director, I think we should all keep in mind so that we can fulfill our duties. So according to our bylaws, our mission, the mission of the KSU SGA is to provide the student body with honest representation and committed advocacy through the assessment of university issues and proactive service for the betterment of the campus community. KSU SGA responds to student needs, enhances the student experience, and fosters student engagement. So I know they're not here, but I want to commend Nick and Sarah, our SGA members of the week, for their work on the resolution on student organization reform. This resolution is like the true embodiment of what it means to fulfill our mission. And although passing legislation in Senate doesn't mean that it automatically comes to fruition, you know, we can't wave a magical wand, we are on the right path to enacting change regarding the current Title IX policy. So, you know, now's the time to do that. It's something that we can't and shouldn't ignore. It was voted on last week, and the majority of student senators said yes and took the first step to making that reform at K-State happen. So I just want to caution student senators with their lovely right to vote that I wish I had, but it's the price I pay for being comms director. But I urge and caution student senators to think about their vote before they cast it. Title IX reform is important and integral to the safety of all students on campus. Any vote besides a yes perpetuates a cycle of complacency that I believe not only harms individuals affected, but also our campus community. So, do not be complacent and think about the power of your vote and what abstention means. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your report, Director Grols. Well, with that, we'll move on to final action. Oh, wait, so sorry. Are there any other directors? Yeah, oh. Yes, Intern Coordinator Arnold. Wow, get that off memory.
Hey y'all, please fill out the mentor form. We just want to get as many people to pick from. We're going to be meeting with the interns one-on-one this week, Ashley and myself. So that way we can make sure we're pairing you up with someone who's sharing similar interests or has same sort of goals in SGA or passions. So yeah, please sign up. Yeah.
Do you have any idea when you might know?
So
We're gonna be wrapped up.
so you will know about your mentee Tuesday, September. Is that, I think the 28th is that Tuesday? Ashley's coming here. I think she has input. So
Run. Getting my steps in.
Okay, so just because you apply for a mentee doesn't mean you'll get one. You probably will, though, based on our numbers and our matching right now. So if you did apply to be a mentor, be prepared to set some time aside on September 30th. So that's not next Thursday, but the Thursday after that. And we'll remind you guys about that. But we'll probably have like a pizza and fun little mingle between mentors and mentees that night. And that is also the day that mentees get sworn into Senate. So we're still figuring out the structure of you guys actually meeting them and if it's going to be during our intern meeting or during Senate, but we'll keep you guys up to date.
any more questions or?
Chair Long.
What are intern numbers looking like now?
We have 30 right now who are eligible to be sworn in right now. Once we get after next week, we'll probably have a direct figure for you.
Cool.
Are there any more questions for Intern Coordinator Arnold? Seeing none, thank you so much, Intern Coordinators Arnold and
Thank you,
Groves.
guys.
And with that, we'll actually move on to final action. Will the author of Bill 212205 please come forward?
Hello, everybody. Just again from last week, I'll give like a brief description of what it does. We're just trying to separate authors and sponsors, like I described to you last week. Went back to ops this week, and we reviewed it out favorably with no there were no changes made in ops, and we reviewed it out favorably. So, is that all I have to say?
Thank you for your debate, Senator Porter. I will now be seeking debate in the negative on Bill 5.
Oh, was that my debate?
No,
Oh, thank you for your speech.
I thought I had to say that we didn't have any changes, and then I had first rights to
Oh,
debate.
yeah, I'm so sorry. You have first right to debate.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
thank you. So I'd like to start again by reminding everybody the intent behind this bill. So we wrote it just to give authors a more clear stance and essentially more rights on a piece of legislation. It gives them, in the historical context, a better sense of who wrote the bill. Looking back 20, 30 years from now, we can access that information, but since the structure wasn't like this then, we have no idea who actually wrote that bill, and it just exists with an endless list of sponsors. But if we pass this legislation today, the people that are in our seats 20 or 30 years in the future will be able to look back and say, Andrew Booz and Evan Porter wrote 212205 and 212206 if that legislation also passes. And moving forward, that would be the case for every single one of them. The second most important reason that we decided to write this legislation and that I think we should vote yes on it is that it gives a better point of contact for people. So if, for example, if Senator Lynn wanted to come to me and say, discuss this piece of legislation, she's able to come to myself or Andrew knowing that we were the sole authors on this legislation. In the past, and in the current system, anybody that is listed as a sponsor could be potentially the author of that legislation because there's no delineation between authors and sponsors. So that's a really important thing that I think hasn't been addressed in the past. And I think it's maybe been an issue for some people in the past. But moving forward, I'd like there to be more open communication between authors and anyone that has questions. And this makes it an easier way to know exactly who wrote what piece of legislation and who your point of contact can be there. And finally, I think it's just really important that every few years we edit the bylaws. They're not a stagnant document. They're a living document, the bylaws and the statutes. It's important that we continually review them and edit them and make sure that they're up to the current standard of what we need them to be. And that's this, I think, is an important edit that we made, and that I think you should vote yes on it because it, because, like I said, it gives more rights to authors, it makes it clearer who did it, it makes it clearer in the historical record, and it's just an important edit that we need to make every once in a while to the governing docs. Thank you.
Thank you for your debate, Senator Porter. I will now be seeking debate in the negative on Bill 5. Is there any additional debate in the positive on Bill 5? Any debate at all on Bill 5? Seeing none, we'll move on to a roll call vote. Right? Right. Oh, yeah. Caucus Leader Lynn.
I move to both roll call bills 5 and 6 together.
Second.
Michael. Yeah, we can. It's majority, right? So we just need. Are there any opposed to both roll calling bills 5 and 6?
Bylaws is actually 2/3.
2/3?
But you can still vote roll call on
Okay.
technically.
Thanks, Steve.
What?
I don't think it's on our placards. Blake and I looked.
Oh, right.
Just move some regular roll calling.
I mean, I think the motion to combine, it's basically a motion to combine the vote on both of them. And so I would assume that, like, it's a majority of challenge, so.
I thought that was just that was just full
Yeah, I mean, like, we could probably do, like, any objections, and then if challenged, obviously, we gotta vote on it.
Are there any objections on both roll calling bills 5 and 6? Awesome.
All right, just so we're all clear, we will be voting on 5 and 6. After we read off and debate Bill 6, you will vote 5 and 6 together. So when your name is called, you will say yes for all, yes for both, or you can say yes for 5, no for 6, or any combination of those.
Sorry, point of information or point of question. We have enough people to vote, right? Like we're at quorum?
We are at quorum.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, will the author of Bill 2122-06 please come forward?
Hello again. Same thing. No changes, and we reviewed it out favorably.
You have first rights to debate.
See my previous speech.
And you better vote for both of them, because otherwise, one of them will pass and one of them won't. And it'll be weird. Things are broken.
Blake was telling me a lovely story about how they had to separate the vote when he suggested this as an intern, so please do not make us do that, because it's unpleasant. Okay, now we will be moving on to a roll call vote for bills 5 and 6.
Okay, bear with me once again. Okay. Okay, Bain.
Yes to both.
Bannister.
Yes to both.
Barron.
Yes to both.
Bellamy.
Yes to both on the screen.
Binkley.
Yes to vote by proxy.
Blood.
Yes to both.
Booze.
Yes to both.
Callow. Carr. Compton.
Yes to both.
Croslow.
Yes for both.
Cunningham.
Yes to both.
Demont.
Yes to both.
Doc.
Yes to both.
Dunlap.
Yes to both.
Elliott.
Yes to both.
Insero.
Yes to both.
Esslinger,
Yes to both.
Frederick, Fuss,
Yes to both.
Gain,
Yes to both.
Glasscock,
Yes to both.
Holland,
Yes to both by proxy.
Hotzel,
Yes to both by proxy.
Jabunathan,
Yes to both.
Kidd,
Yes to both.
Cock.
Yes to both.
I'm messing it up, I know. I overthought myself on that. Kramer,
Yes to both.
Lane, Lister,
Yes to both.
Long,
Yes to both.
Lynn,
Yes to both.
Marquez, Mayor,
Yes to both by proxy.
McPhee,
Yes to both.
Monteith, Nelson,
Yes to both.
Pineda Gomez,
Yes to both.
Porter,
Yes to both.
Prester,
Yes to both.
Riffle,
Yes to both.
Rodriguez,
Yes to both.
Rook,
Yes to both.
Salmon,
Yes to both.
Scharnhorst,
Yay to each.
Shear,
Yes to both.
Spleakle,
Yes to both.
Stout,
Yes to both.
Taha,
Yes to both by proxy.
Thomas, Volgamore,
Yes to both by proxy.
Wallace, Warren,
Yes to both.
Willis Jackson,
Yes to both.
Willis Reese. Okay. Okay, both bills 5 and 6 pass with 48 yeses, 0 nos, and 0 abstentions.
Thank you so much. And with that, we'll be moving on to Bill 212207. Will the author of the bill please come forward?
All right, so for Bill 7, we did not make any changes, and it was vote favorably from the student services fee from 6 to 0 to 0. So Bill 7 is the closing of accounts. Fiscal year 21 simply means the unused fund from the following organization was not completely used up due to COVID. Typically, the reserve will be, not typically, all of the reserve or all the leftover money will be put back in reserve. This just give our accountant, Amy, the permission to put the leftover money into the reserve for contingencies account and the academic competition team reserve account. And that's it.
Thank you, and you have first rights to debate. So sweat. Thank you so very much. I will now be seeking any debate in the negative on Bill 7. Any additional debate in the positive on Bill 7? Any additional debate at all on Bill 7? Seeing none, we will now move on to roll call vote.
Okay, hopefully I'll do better this time. Okay, Bain,
Yes.
Bannister,
Yeah.
Barron,
Yes.
Bellamy, Binkley,
Yes, by proxy.
Blood,
Yes.
Booze,
Aye.
Callow, Carr, Compton,
Yes.
Croslow,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Demont,
Yes.
Doc,
Yes.
Dunlap,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
and Sarah,
Yes.
Esslinger,
Yes.
Frederick, Fuss,
Yes.
Gain,
Yes.
Glasscock,
Yes.
Holland,
Yes, by proxy.
Hotzel,
Yes, by proxy.
Jabunathan,
Yes.
Kidd,
Yes.
Cook,
Here, or sorry.
it's okay, I messed up your name, so you're good. Kramer,
Yes.
Lane, Lister,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Marquez, Mayor,
Yes, by proxy.
McPhee,
Yes.
Monteith, Nelson,
Yes.
Pineda Gomez,
Yes.
Porter,
Yes.
Prester,
Yes.
Riffle,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Rook,
Yes.
Salmon,
Yes.
Scharnhorst,
Yes.
Shear,
Yes.
Splekel,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Taha,
Yes, by proxy.
Thomas, Vogelmore, Wallace, Warren,
Yes.
Willis Jackson, Willis Reese, and Bill 7 passes 48 to 0.
And that will exhaust our final action agenda. We'll now move on to the introduction of legislation. You're doing a great job. So we have Bill 2208. Is there a motion to consider Bill 8? Chair Long.
I move to consider Bill 8. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to consider Bill 8. Will the author please come forward?
Oh, yes, yes.
Sorry guys, we're struggling today.
Chair Long.
I move to allow the author to summarize.
Yes, second.
It has been moved and seconded for Senator Glasscock.
Yeah, if there are any.
Are there any objections to this? Yes, Senator Blood.
Object. And now that's a majority. Yes. Let's vote again.
Just go into, so,
Cool. All those in favor of summarizing Bill 8, please raise your hand. Those on Zoom also should have the raise hand function.
What are we voting for?
For summarizing.
Summarize.
Bill 8.
I'll create and summarize.
Awesome. All those opposed to summarizing Bill 8? Thank you so much, Brian Black. Are there any abstentions on summarizing Bill 8? Okay. So, well, you can still summarize, so please continue on.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good news, Brian. I'm still going to read every whereas clause. So this is Bill 08. This is the amendment to the KSUSJ statutes regarding web conferencing. So this is a new amendment to the attendance policy. So whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has required Student Senate to function in a hybridized format, and whereas Student Senate should continue to function in a hybridized format, whereas a hybridized format offers greater accessibility for members of the Student Governing Association and others who are in attendance of Student Senate, and whereas a hybridized format creates a more equitable and inclusive space where accommodations can be more easily made for all parties involved, whereas mental health issues are not included in approval list of reasons for attending via a web conferencing platform, whereas mental health issues, if not given time and care, can lead to a variety of damaging physical health, emotional health, and mental health effects that directly impact student senators' personal well-being, whereas student senators' mental health should be prioritized over the responsibilities of Student Senate, whereas student senators who feel they are unable to attend Student Senate due to mental health issues are still required to notify the Speaker of the Student Senate prior to Student Senate and do still have to designate a proxy, and whereas the Student Governing Association should amend the current attendance policy to require the Speaker of the Student Senate provide a hybridized option in all future Student Senate meetings. So what we're doing here is we're amending the statutes, and what you, the attendance policy section, that's as previous, and we still maintain our previous policy requiring 24 hours in advance notice for issues such as academic purposes, work-related circumstances, and mental health, etc. And we also have the special case of 24 hours or less for notice to the Speaker for mental health or family emergencies, that sort of thing. And we're adding a new section, Section CUC, to that part of the statutes. Essentially, we're just setting into stone here what we previously had as our de facto policy throughout the last year and a half of the pandemic. We're setting that into stone in Section C of the statutes here. A little bit of it is the hybridized option being provided through a web conferencing platform, but we leave that vague in case we decide to move on from Zoom in the future. By the Speaker of the Student Senate to guarantee accessibility of Student Senate meetings, and in determining the use of the hybridized option by student senators, that following policy shall be used. And essentially, it's pretty much the same as the old attendance policy, whereas you can request to attend via the web conferencing platform at least 24 hours the start of the next Student Senate meeting. To the Speaker of the Student Senate, you don't have to specify a proxy because you're attending online, and you can request to attend via our web conferencing platform for any reasons falling under physical distance requirements, sickness or physical health, family obligations, or essentially any other reason that can fall under the discretion of the Speaker of the Student Senate. The reason we mention mental health in the whereas clauses is we chose specifically not to include mental health as a reason that you can attend via that web conferencing platform, because we'd rather you just, as a Student Senate, to be excused from a Student Senate as a whole for that reason. So that concludes the work that we've done on this resolution. If there are any questions, I'll hear them.
Thank you so much, Senator Glasscock. Are there any questions for Senator Glasscock on Bill 8? Seeing no, are there any corrections for Senator Glasscock on Bill 8? Seeing none, thank you. And we will now move on to our second open period. Are there any speakers for our second open period? Yes, Senator Booz.
It's weird being able to see myself in the same in the screen as I'm walking up, but I wanted to talk a little bit about when to abstain, and I know you're probably a little tired about hearing about this, but we've had multiple people come up here and tell the body when it's permissible to abstain, and I thought I should weigh in, because I do have a different opinion on that case in some ways. I think abstentions can be permissible in cases where you are not quite sure on a piece of legislation. I know that we've had previous speakers try to say that like you should always vote yes or no, but I believe that if you have not done your research and it's a really complicated bill or something that's not immediately obvious what the merits are, that it's still okay to abstain, if you're seeing that in the moment. And so, yes, I would say that on the majority of bills you should vote yes or no. But I think there's a room for abstention. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an option, and we'd just have yes or no. So I know that there's a particular bill that was mentioned by a previous speaker, and I do believe that the vote on that, is the best vote on that is yes, but I also wouldn't want to pressure people who are not there yet on abstentions. So thanks, and I'll take any questions.
Senator Glasscock.
Can you give me an example of a time where it's like a no-brainer to abstain, like the number one example?
No, I don't think it ever really should be a no-brainer to abstain. I really think that's an option for a reason, but it should be, and it should be used in cases either when people don't feel like they have enough information to vote, or when they believe that it's best to not vote yes or no on a bill. But that takes a lot of thought.
In your time, have you seen a bill that has like sufficient ambiguity to warrant an abstention?
I'm actually not particularly sure of any instance. I know I have abstained before on bills where other people have wanted, like, have made statements that you should vote in a particular way.
Senator Rodriguez?
Can senators vote on allocation bills that go towards an organization they're part of?
Can senators vote on, yeah.
Or must they abstain?
I mean, again, that's one thing where I think you have to deal with your own conscience on that. I probably would abstain from from voting on a bill that's for an organization that I'm a part of. But really, like, what I'm up here is to do is to try to emphasize that it's, one, your choice, and two, you should think a lot about it.
Are there any more questions for Senator Booz? Seeing none, thank you, Senator Booz. And are there any other second open period speakers before we go on to Senate shoutouts? Oh, Michael.
Thank you for bearing with your interim Senate leadership tonight. Let's see. Blake, I know you're watching this. I'm assuming so, but yeah, Blake, please come back from Texas. We miss you.
And Nick, we miss you too, Nick, I swear.
I would like to say this is a pretty fast Senate, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not over yet.
You're doing great.
Okay, we'll now be moving on to Senate shoutouts.
Okay, if I'm being honest, I don't know which ones I can and can't say, because I know Nick says he gets something he can't say, so I'm gonna try my best too.
Ones that are not canon.
We'll go through these, so I'm so sorry, Kelly.
Just read them all.
Okay.
Read them all.
Huge. Okay. Ah. Okay, let me refresh. Okay. Huge props to Ari, Marta, and Michael for doing an amazing job in their respective roles. Marta, heart eyes emoji, thanks. Congrats to SGA for winning the collegiate kickball game before the game even happened. You really are just that good. That's very true. Shout out to Jackson Willis for being such a stunning and charming boy. Shout out to Ariana, Marta, and Michael for being up front during the Senate. You'll do great. Shout out to Chair Long's construction glasses. Olive. Shout out to the grad caucuses because they are hanging out at beat-ups? I'm jealous. Shout out to Nick and Blake who keep Senate running smoothly when they are here. That hurts, but it's fine. Shout out to Blake. Oh, wait, no, I just wrote that. Grad school senators for always being awesome and making the week so much better. Shout out to all of us for winning the kickball game against the Collegian by default. Oh, God. Senator Evan Porter for being a god amongst men, a king among senators, an overly sharp dressed man. To Nick and Blake's 2.0. To the Marks a Lot of box for being the decoration of the evening. I don't know what that means, but I said it. Shout out to Senator Cox. Appearance tonight. I know. I'm so sorry, Tanner. It's funny. Shout out to Ari, Martin, and Michael for stepping up this week and leading Senate. Shout out for Brian Blood for not being afraid to stand out even if he's the only one. Ari did such a good job. Please clap. Thank you. And that is all.
Nice.
And with that, we'll now move on to our reference of legislation. For tonight, Bill 8 will be going to Senate Operations. If you'd like to have any further input on Bill 8, feel free to reach out or attend the Senate Operations meetings, which are on Tuesday at 5:45. And now we will be doing our second roll call.
Let me gather myself together. Okay. Bain.
Here.
Bannister.
Here.
Barron.
Here.
Bellamy.
Here.
Blood.
Present.
Booze.
Here.
Callow. Carr. Compton.
Here.
Croslow.
Here.
Cunningham. Demont.
Here.
Doc.
Here.
Dunlap.
Here.
Elliott.
Here.
Ansaro.
Here.
Esslinger.
Here.
Frederick. Fuss.
Here.
Gain.
Here.
Glasscock.
Here.
Hotzel. Sorry, that was a proxy. Jamunathan.
Here.
Kidd.
Here.
Cook.
Here.
Kramer.
Here.
Lane. Lister.
Here.
Long. You good?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Here.
Lynn.
Here.
Mayor. McPhee.
Here.
Monteith. Nelson.
Here.
Pineda Gomez.
Here.
Porter.
Here.
Prester.
Present.
Riffle.
Howdy.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Rook.
Here.
Solomon.
Here.
Scharnhorst.
Here.
Shear.
Here.
Splekel.
Here.
Stout.
Here.
Thomas. Oh, yeah, you're here. Wallace. Warren. Willis Jackson.
Here.
Willis Reese. Okay, and we have 42 senators present. Thank you guys for putting up with me. Sorry if I said your last name wrong. Especially you, Tanner. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Interim Secretary Berg. And with that, we have reached the end of our agenda, and I am now seeking a motion to adjourn. Senator Booth?
Move to adjourn until, well, next Thursday in Wildcat Chamber.
Second.
Okay.
7 p.m.
It has been moved and seconded. See you all next week. Have a great night and go Cats.